up, YouTube? How y'all doing? So today I'm going to talk about initiatives today. I'm going to talk about like being intentional, being like not over pressuring yourself. For instance, I'm making this YouTube video, and will I edit it? Probably not. But I prayed before I started, and I said, you know what? God, give me the words to use to say the things I'm going to say, because I have no idea what I'm going to say. But the initiative is me just doing something, me just being intentional about, look, I'm going to do these videos every Wednesday, Sunday. I'm going to try to make sure I can do something and not sit there and just be like, I'm going to be overwhelmed with the fact I got to edit, I got to do this, I got to do that. That's just me trying to be a perfectionist, which I am. But I'm working on just not doing that junk. Anyway, if that was all confusing, to sum it up, do something. Don't get caught up in the fact that you got to do this and you got to do the... Don't get caught up in trying to think about 2, 3, 4, 5 steps ahead, because I feel like it's a natural human thing to get discouraged or not want to do something just because you thinking about the results. You always want results, and so to get to results, it normally takes probably about 6 steps to get to the result of something, to like in a process, right? And like you're like thinking about step 3, 4, 5, and you didn't even get through 1 or 2 yet. And it's hard to keep up with something when you keep pressuring yourself to do all of it so you can get results, when God is with you the whole time. God, you take 1 or 2 steps, God will take the rest of the steps for you. You don't have to worry about step 3, 4, and 5, and 6 when He's got 1 and 2. When all you have to do is just do 1 and 2. Believe that He's with you, and period. That's it. And let's say it didn't work out. Let's say you take this step, well, move to something different. Maybe that's just not where you were meant to be. Like, anyway, I was trying to say maybe that's not the place that you need to put initiative in. Maybe there's another place you need to put initiative in. For instance, with me, I have anger issues too. Y'all, I'm just being 100. I have big, impatient anger issues. Somebody can do something to me, and it can just be them driving slow. I'm like, y'all, I gotta go. And it's not that, I mean, I know the world doesn't revolve around me, but like, I'm not the only one with road rage. It's just that when life sucks, I get less patient. And for other people, when life sucks, maybe they smoke more weed. Maybe they drink more alcohol. Maybe they have more sex. Maybe they become a workaholic. I don't know. But whatever the case may be, that's what they do. And I just want to be, sure that I'm putting my effort into something that is only ordained like by God. It's only in a positive light, not something that, I mean, not saying things aren't going to be hard, but that you can't put a whole lot of energy into something that isn't feeding you back, if that makes sense. You just be disciplined enough to start, to try, to not be stagnant, to not lose interest, or not even try just because you're scared, or you feel like you know how it's going to end, or you don't have enough resources, or you don't know enough people, or you just don't feel like you can do it because all you've known is something else. And to walk into an area that's unfamiliar, or into a territory or a new aspect or a new journey of your life, to open into a new door of your life, to get to a new level in your life that you never seen before, you can't keep dwelling in the places you've been familiar with, that you have seen. That's only going to get you in the same cycle, the same circle. You got to be comfortable with being uncomfortable, with getting into places that are uncomfortable, if you want to get something more out of life, if you want to get something more. So be intentional in your initiatives. Make a plan. Just say, hey, I want to work on being, and it can be anything, y'all, anything. And I'm telling you this because I want you to think about your dreams, but I also want you to say to yourself, if have you done anything or stayed consistent about anything to reach your dreams? Or if you have been consistent, is it consistency in the right area? Is it consistency in the right direction? Are you being consistent by, like, say you want your I don't know, maybe you want a degree and you're consistent about doing your work, you're consistent about studies, you're consistent about this and that, and maybe things didn't work out. Well, what's the next thing that you need to focus on? Maybe it's your habits. Maybe do you give yourself enough break? Do you need to be intentional about not overwhelming yourself with school all the time? Because sometimes when you just sit there and stress about studying and getting stuff done for school, you tend to forget the information the moment the test comes up. The moment you get in a real world scenario where you have to apply it, like it can be like a mind block when you are so focused on trying to know everything. Say another goes for just maybe relationships. Maybe you're wondering, like, why am I not in a relationship? Why am I feeling lonely? Why am I not booed up, baed up? This is summertime for me. This is like, like, this is hot girl summer, hot guy summer. This is my year, my time. Why is nothing happening? I mean, maybe your focus is, you got to work on being patient. Maybe you got to work on not getting angry. Maybe you got to work on being more considerate and stepping outside of yourself. Maybe you got to work on yourself. Maybe there's some boundaries that you haven't set that are strong enough to even deal with letting somebody in. Because if your boundaries aren't strong enough, they can just do whatever they want to do, and like say they can love you in the way that they know to love you, but it's not sufficient for you. But you feel like it's sufficient because you don't have strong boundaries. For instance, and this is always typical for like for girls that may have not had a father figure coming up. They didn't have somebody to show them how to really be loved, how to really understand being loved. Somebody thinking about you, somebody caring for you, providing for you, protecting you, somebody promoting you, pushing you to do better, to be your best self. Somebody challenging you, somebody disciplining you in a way that makes you say, I gotta do this for me. That can be hard for a girl that never had a daddy around, whether he be dead or he just wasn't involved, or maybe he was abusive and he was involved and he showed you wrong ways of being loved. And so now the only way you can accept love, let's say if it was an abusive daddy, is from abuse. You only can accept it in abusive ways. Or if you don't understand love, like, what's the word? If you don't understand, if you didn't have a daddy and you didn't have a father figure, like, I'm using girls for example right now. You might get this mixed up because I'm thinking this is like the best way for somebody to understand. Please tell me if it isn't. If there's another way, I can definitely explain it. Just express to me what you feel in the comments. But I'm trying to say, a daughter may feel like because she didn't have an example, just like how she may have had an example from a mom about how to be a woman, she may not have an example from a dad about how to be loved properly by a man. And so this may cause her to get love in all the wrong places. Maybe it's from a guy that makes her feel good, just from the way he's like having sex with her. I don't know. Maybe she starts feeling that that's the best way that a guy can show me love, is if he can really like fuck me. I mean, like, that's literally what goes through their head sometimes. Not all the time, but I mean, I've just talked to them and I can see that, or maybe it's that they feel they like the fact that they get attention from them at all. Because some girls don't even get attention. In the moment they get attention from one guy, be perfect or not, I mean not perfect, but be like within their standards or not, they still want them just because they have giving them the attention they finally wanted. All that to say is, sometimes things don't work out just because your intentions are not in the right place. With love, your intentions may not be you may not be practicing them to make better boundaries instead of trying to practice your intentions to make better results, if that makes sense. You want the results, but you don't want the process. Process is boundaries, setting up boundaries. For instance, love, you're trying to set up boundaries. So in the process, you don't want to do that. You get frustrated with that because it's hard for you to maintain your boundaries. That's the process. Instead, you want the results, which is a man, or whatever, your loved one. Your twin flame, whatever you want to call it. You want that. You want the result of it. Maybe you want the degree, but you don't want to work towards having the degree. Maybe you want the job or the money, and you don't really want to work towards the money. You just want the money. How can I better produce the money? Can I do a quick scheme? Can I do a pyramid scheme? Can I do, what can I do quick, fast, and hurry, make it work like a microwave? No. Life is telling you, how can I make this jump well done to where it's perfect for my standards? Not just me trying to get something because I don't believe that it could be better than what I see or what I can handle or what I think I can handle. But what standard I really want, if I can just be disciplined enough to not give up in my intentions, that even when one intention doesn't work, move to another one. Stay committed though. Like, don't give up on something just because it doesn't seem like it's working out, because you can't think of how it's going to work out. You can't see how it's going to work out. That's okay. That's okay. The whole point of this video is to just tell you, start small and make a promise to yourself that you're not going to give up on the small thing you started with. To keep being disciplined about doing that small thing. For instance, I'm doing these YouTubes, y'all, and this is the very first time I'm ever doing some junk like this in my life. I'd never thought or ever think that this could, and I'm just being real, that this could be more than what it is now, and which is me in my bedroom doing a video on my phone for YouTube, hoping that one day that somebody, even if it's one person, will share this and literally get something out of it, and maybe I can reach thousands and thousands of people. But what I'm getting at is that I have to tell myself when I get up every day, it's okay. Just make that video on Wednesday, on Sunday. One day God will bless it. It may be this week. It may be next week. It may be the week after. It may. But the point is to be intentional. The point is to keep going at it. Don't get discouraged, because the thing that pops in my head is, well, I don't feel like doing that because now I got to edit. Then I got to do this. Then I got to do that. I got to make sure I send it to my friends and see if they like it, and then try to get them to share it with this people and that people. That gets overwhelming when you try to think about every little thing you can do to try to fix it, but or try to make it perfect to where you can finally feel comfortable with it working out. All I'm saying is do a little bit. I'm just going to make this video, but I'm not editing this. I'm throwing exactly what I did a long time ago, which was put my little video on, put my little intro and my outro, and that's it. That's it. I don't have time for anything else. You see, I'm in school. I don't have time to do all of that other stuff, but I do want to connect to people the best way I can. So I know God will ordain this and make this work out, but the whole point of me having this video is just to tell you, make an intention on something very small, or not very small, but something that feels Small in terms that it feels comfortable to you. It's enough for you to be okay with doing. But you have to tell yourself, even on the days when you feel discouraged, to do it, to stay disciplined. Despise not the day of small beginnings, and be consistent. It will work out. It will pay off if you stay consistent with it, and you have a good intention. You're not impatient about it. You know, you just do it one day. When I tell you one day, and I'm speaking this prophetically, one day it will get better. It will work out. God will bless it. You just have to be consistent and have a heart at being intentional. I promise you, it's going to work out. I'm a believer, and I am a true, like, I literally go through this every day. So I have the credentials to literally say this to you. It's real. It's literally real. But if y'all have any questions, if y'all were confused by anything I said, please comment below and ask me if I can clarify something. I really just want to help and spread positivity, and motivation. And I just want to share with y'all a bit of my journey and the things that I learned to help me keep moving, or to help me move in a different way. And to help me just get through a day. For real. So anyway, I will talk to y'all later. Stay blessed. It was good seeing y'all, my COGs. And that was a simple fruit for your spirit. Intentionality. Period.
So was it so hard to love? Darling, you make it too hard.